Hello, welcome to our latest Queen Elizabeth Scholarship presentation from the McMaster Health Forum at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I'll provide you with a quick rundown of the McMaster Health Forum, the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Program, and the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Program here at the Forum. I will then turn it over to our scholar presenter who will talk about their experiences. The McMaster Health Forum aims to be the leading hub for improving health outcomes through collective problem solving. We harness information, convene stakeholders, and prepare action-oriented leaders to act as an agent of change by empowering stakeholders. The Canadian Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Scholarships, or QES for short, is managed through a unique partnership of Universities Canada, the Rita Hall Foundation, Community Foundations of Canada, and Canadian universities. This program is made possible with financial support from the Government of Canada, provincial governments, and the private sector. The purpose of the program is to activate a dynamic community of young global leaders to create lasting impacts both at home and abroad through cross-cultural exchanges encompassing international education, discovery and inquiry, and professional experiences. The Master Health Forum had a previous Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Program. We were very proud to have been selected as one of 20 Canadian institutions to host a second round of scholars. The new program ran from 2018 to the end of 2021, but was extended to the end of 2023. The focus of the McMaster Health Forum's current Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Program is strengthening health and social systems. Our scholars have contributed to strengthening health and social systems and have become part of our large and growing network of health and social system leaders. During our original Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Program, we hosted 14 incoming scholars, and we sent 3 outgoing scholars to work with our partners. We also had an additional 44 outgoing interns who traveled abroad to work with partners of the McMaster Health Forum. For our current Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Program on strengthening health and social systems, we have hosted 7 incoming scholars, and we have sent abroad 24 outgoing interns who have worked with our partners around the world. Our scholar presenter today is Adrienne, who's a graduate student in the Global Health Program at McMaster University. Adrienne's experiences as a nurse have instilled the importance of upstream approaches in addressing health concerns before patients even arrive to the hospital. During her internship, Adrienne hoped to garner greater knowledge on policy and evidence synthesis and foster long-lasting relationships with her multidisciplinary team while enhancing her Spanish language abilities. Adrienne, over to you.
Hello, my name is Adrienne, and I am thankful to be here today to talk to you a little bit about my experience as a QES scholar in Medellín, Colombia. I was placed at the Universidad de Antioquia from May to August 2023. So a little bit about Colombia. I'm sure most of you have heard something about it from the media, but Colombia is located in South America and boasts of a diverse geography, a population around 51 million, and a rich cultural heritage. The economy is emerging, driven by industries like oil and agriculture. It is overcoming its historical challenges, and this included a peace agreement in 2016. The country is now a very popular tourist destination, with attractions ranging from historic cities to breathtaking natural landscapes, as you can see on the right. And all of those locations I was able to go visit, and Colombia truly is a very beautiful country. And for the first time ever, Colombia has a left-leaning government and facing a significant shift in their health system, which made my time there also very interesting just to see those dynamics when working with policy and research. So more specifically, I lived in Medellín, which is more inland, and as you can kind of see from the picture on the right, exists in a valley, so it's a very beautiful city. It is a city with a colorful past and a very bright future. So a major tourist destination is the Comuna 13, which is highlighting the history of guerrilla warfare, and this is also home to the infamous narco Pablo Escobar. So it marks the city as a sign of resilience and reform, as they have come a long way in terms of safety and how they were often portrayed in the media. As for popular sites and safety, following standard safety precautions, I never had any difficulty. So those kind of included not going out alone at night, taking Ubers instead of taxis, and just going out with people and groups in general. Otherwise, I never had any issues. This city has Park Arvi, the Botanical Gardens, Comune 13, museums galore. They also have a lot of ferias and a very impressive nightlife. As well, they have great public transport and Uber for those who are not comfortable with that public transport, but they are very proud of their metro system and, as you can see on the right, their cable cars, which go up the really steep communities that they have existing on the sides of the valley. And on the bottom left is Comune 13, and in the middle is the Botanical Gardens. So where I was within Medellín, I worked with the Unidad de Evidencia y Deliberation. So this was located in central Medellín, near the Universidad de Antioquia, across from the Faculty of Medicine. So this, on the top, you can kind of see the building and what it looked like. The dedicated office space allowed for a really nice opportunity to interact with coworkers and the staff and students from the med faculty across the street. So this bottom picture is the staff that I usually saw and worked with. They do a bit more of a hybrid just because of COVID, but they're trying to get more people back in the office. So Dr. Daniel Patino in the right, in the blue, he was my main advisor. However, I worked very closely with many others, including the woman in this to the left of Dr. Patino, Pamela. She was also a really great advisor. So I would recommend an A2 level of Spanish minimum, just as they conduct all their meetings in Spanish, as well for community visits when no one will speak English within the community and speaking with community members. It's really helpful to have just a base level of Spanish, and they really try to encourage it within the university, and they like it when you try, and it's a really beautiful language. So as for the goals of UNID, this unit supports decision-making for communities, patients, professionals, organizations, and decision-makers by synthesizing the best available evidence combined with regional and local knowledge and the values of preferences of individuals in various fields of social well-being. So they tried to get a lot of the different voices from within their community to build on their practices. But their objectives were to build and strengthen the capacity of researchers, decision makers, civil society, and the media on how to use research and decision making, reform policy formulation by leveraging the best available evidence as input for deliberative dialogue among decision makers and other stakeholders, as well as conducting research with the aim of strengthening, sorry, I can't see that one. Through research which informs policy decision. So they do quite a bit, and I'll tell you a little bit about the projects I was able to help on. So at the unit, I had to help with a variety of projects, and this was kind of a difficult time for me to be there, just in terms of they were going through a health system reform, so a lot of their projects were put on hold for funding, and just a lot of them were put on hold. So my projects were either moved or changed, and so that was also a useful experience, and just kind of becoming more flexible with the projects I could help on and would help on. So the main project that I worked a lot of the time on was a rapid review of cultural implications for sexual health in Indigenous populations in Canada, which I know is kind of interesting that I'd be in Colombia working on it, but it was through partnership with McMaster's Forum. So that was really interesting. I also helped with a rapid review on the use of carotid ultrasound during CPR. And with my background in nursing, I found that really interesting to kind of see the different dynamics of using different tools within the hospital and how that improves patient outcomes. I also spent time translating documents, and this really helps on improving my Spanish and learning new vocabulary. So that was really nice, and also allowed me an opportunity to work with the different staff members. And finally, I really expressed interest in community health and had the opportunity to go do community visits with some of the med students and some of the med faculty at the university. So for the rapid review, I got to kind of see it start to almost finish. So this included the literature search. They have a really great librarian who will help you with each step of the way. She's very involved and has a lot of knowledge. Creation of inclusion-exclusion criteria, selecting articles, data extraction, and report writing. So the pre-orientation and in-placement orientation helped greatly in learning about these steps as it is still quite new to them. but they're very supportive and helpful for each step of the way. As for the community visits, I went to Gran Isle, San Cristobal, and Santo Domingo. In Gran Isle, the Faculty of Medicine staff were trying to integrate telehealth into the community clinic. And a little bit of background on Gran Isle, it is an informal settlement on the edge of Medellín, so they don't have running water, power's often a little bit difficult to come by, so they regularly don't have full-time healthcare staff, so telehealth would come a long way in terms of providing this community with that access. San Cristobal, we visited a community that is creating organic produce to sell at local markets to raise awareness of health food choices and dangers of pesticides. And in Santo Domingo, the medicine students were doing sexual health and first aid education taught to the high school students within that community. And we also were able to visit a woman's garden, where it's a community garden, where she invites the community to cook fresh meals and introduce new vegetables to their diets. And that is the woman in the bottom picture in the orange. She does a lot of amazing work within her community. As for my personal goals and lessons learned from learning plan to reality, before I even went to Medellín on my learning plan, I wanted to become proficient at rapid reviews, understand the influence of health systems in Colombia, to learn how research can inform policy, and to enhance my Spanish. And what actually happened, I was able to achieve each of these goals. But on top of that, I learned how deeply interconnected health policy, research, and government, and how they influence each other, and you can't really impact one without having an effect on the other. And I also learned don't always trust the media. Medellín gets kind of a rough name, and it truly is a wonderful city, and I would highly recommend it. There's always lots to see, and the people are extremely friendly. As for my personal life and life outside of work in Medellín, for apartments, it can be a bit tricky as Medellín becomes a very popular destination for a lot of expats. Some of the popular neighborhoods have gotten to be quite expensive. So I found looking at Airbnbs where I found my apartment, but also different staff at UNED were very helpful and eager to help, so there's always options available, and I'm happy to help as well. And as well, for those who don't know, Colombia is known for its love of dance and music. So while there to kind of fully embrace it, I took salsa and bachata classes. That is the bottom right picture. I also would go to the gym, visit popular tourist sites, made friends, and I really got into running while I was there because the weather is beautiful all year round. But another really cool part about being there in the summer is the Feria de los Flores, which is the largest carnival that Medellín has. And it is absolutely beautiful. In the top right corner, they have the Parade of the Cigateros, where they make all these beautiful floral pieces and parade it through the city. And it happens every August. It's kind of the highlight of their city. And it can't be missed. It truly is an amazing experience. And seeing everyone get out together, and there's music and dancing and flowers. So really wonderful experience. And I just want to say a special thank you to McMaster Health Forum, QES Scholars, and UNED for supporting me through this journey. It truly was a wonderful time. I learned so much about Colombia, Medellín, as well as research and policy and health systems reform. So I am forever grateful for that. And if you have any more questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. And I really do encourage Medellín. When I left, they said they'd be very happy to have more students and are very willing to support you. So please give Medellín your thoughts and considerations. You can reach me at adrienneteske@gmail.com. Thank you so much.